Welcome to the Stuff and Jug Show. We share our opinions on random subjects from interesting news, social topics, pop culture, our likes and dislikes, things you've seen, heard, or read, or did, and what we do, stuff and junk. Hello, my name is Albert.
My name is Ruthy.
This is Jiaming.
So, Ruthy, I'm really curious, how was your Disney cruise trip?
Oh, mixed feelings, but mostly good. I think I had a lot of fun with my niece and nephews.
Okay.
It was just, it really, at some point, my sister and I, well, your cousin, of course, also, we were kind of walking around the ship, and I don't know, I was just like, wow, it really feels like you're in Disney, like in Disneyland or Disney World.
Mm-hmm.
And then she's like, yeah, I know, right? Then we kind of looked at each other like, well, duh, it's a Disney cruise. You really get that.
And just
that
back up a
Disney-
little bit. This is the one that comes out of Florida, right? And it goes around the Caribbean.
Yeah,
The
the one
Wish.
that comes out of Florida.
Yeah, the Wish.
Yeah, Disney Wish. Yeah, it's
And how long is the cruise?
It was only 4 days, which that's from like embarkation and debarkation days.
Yeah.
So
So
very,
those are-
very short.
It's a long weekend, basically.
It's basically a very long week. Yeah, a long weekend. So it went by really quick because like I
And what are
arrived
the-
on a Friday.
What are the stops?
We in Bahamas, Nassau, Bahamas, and Castaway Key, also in Bahamas, and then it turns back. Then the next day by 7:30 a.m. you're already in Florida.
Gotcha.
So it was pretty quick. Really nice, very Disney, very magical. I think it felt a little hectic for me because you guys know how I usually do trips. It's usually very like, oh, where do we feel like going tomorrow? Like, oh, no, let's go. Oh, how much are tickets to go here? What are the hotels like there? What's the weather like? Let's go there. So like to be in a structured environment. This is also, by the way, my first cruise ever. So it was strange being on a boat, and I had this fear of I might feel like I'm stuck, but no, this boat is huge. Even though it's
massive
not
boat,
even
right?
it's a massive boat, but it's
yeah.
not even like the biggest boat in the world. So like when I saw it up close, like when my shuttle bus from the airport was going, well, first of all, I'm like totally ADHDing out here. But first of all, like when I got to the airport and I went to Disney Cruise Line concierge for the shuttle bus, it was like first class service all the way. Like they took my bags, they put my luggage tags on it. Never saw my bags until I got to my room on the boat, like hours later. So it was like super easy. I didn't have to carry a thing. Very Disney. So when my bus was arriving towards the boat, I was like, holy crap. Like I've seen cruise ships before. I mean, of course here in New York, like there's cruise ships all the time, but like I've never seen it so up close and like with the intent of getting on the boat. And I was just like, wow, I didn't realize boats are this big. It's not even that big. It's like
most of these cruises are like bigger than the Titanic.
I mean, yeah, the Titanic is like tiny compared to these. Like this,
Yeah.
Disney cruises hold anywhere between 3,000 to 4,000. And I heard like when we were in Nassau, there were 4 ships parked. There was Carnival, which like even my nephew was like, look at those people. Like, oh, look at that boat. Like,
Did they announce how many people were on your boat?
No, they didn't. But I think it didn't seem like it was completely full, but it was still a lot of people. Like I would say like around 25 to 3,000 people, 2,500 to 3,000
I was
people.
gonna say, like,
and then,
maybe 1,000?
no.
It's like a slow day at Disneyland.
But then, right? But then the next ship, it was like small, big, bigger, and then the biggest. So like there were 4 ships in Nassau, and it was Carnival and the Disney cruise, which was slightly bigger, and then it was, I think, what was it? It was something else. I forget the name. That was right next to it, which is a little slightly bigger. And then there was Icon of the Seas, which is I think it's a Royal Caribbean cruise ship, which was massive. Like I went snorkeling on a boat with a bunch of strangers, and even coming back from the snorkeling site, we were passing the side of the Icon of the Seas, and we were just all in awe of how massive this ship was. It holds something like I think like 10,000. Maybe I'm exaggerating.
That's too many people. That's too much. That's
No.
That's too many people, man. I can't imagine all the crap that comes out of the bottom.
I don't know, but
ship.
they were at least like 8,000 people, if anything. Like they can hold a lot of people.
Yeah. I've
that was probably a
seen.
very stupid remark to say 18,000. I don't know where that number came from, but
The thing
that
is,
was
these things are too massive.
we.
I've seen like these YouTube and these little documentaries about how these massive ships run and some of that. The amount of food, the amount of fuel, the amount of shit that comes
Mhm.
out. It's just too much, man.
There's actually
It's a
like there's
lot.
actually like skyscrapers on the water.
Right.
It's not just that. It looks like multiple skyscrapers next to each other on the water.
Yeah.
And that's initially what I thought. I'm like, oh, it's like a skyscraper on the water. But then I'm looking at the Disney ship alone, and it's 12 stories high.
Yeah.
But it looks like it's 10 buildings next to each other.
That's too many
Like,
stories.
that
Was there
so
anything
many-
fun to do on the ship and stuff like that? That's kind of adult oriented. Or was there like
Yeah,
kids oriented?
actually, the nice thing about the Disney was just there were a lot of bars. So, oh, you guys are gonna love this. I went to the Hyperspace Lounge. That was pretty cool.
It's a Star Wars thing, I'm guessing.
That was a Star Wars themed
Okay.
one. That was my first stop there. Well, the first real stop I went to was the Rose Lounge. That's a Beauty and the Beast themed one. It was a little quiet, so I just kind of like looked around and I kind of skipped the drinks.
So
then
the
I went
question
down
now
to,
is, when you went to the Hyperspace Lounge, were they doing pam 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 padam 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 pam padam padam? No,
no,
Ah,
not quite.
sadness.
No, it was very. I think it was supposed to be on Naboo, like the setting, or like we were supposed to be, of course, on a ship, but like the theme kind of was like the bartenders were supposed to be from Naboo or something. So like it's pretty cool. It's like a speakeasy. You don't really see it immediately. It's like off to the side in a small little hallway, so you have to go down, and then you have to press a button to enter. And then it kind of slides open, so it feels like you're entering a ship, a spaceship. So then you go in. It's not as it wasn't as impressive as like the bar in Star Wars.
Oh, okay.
In
Galaxy's Edge.
Galaxy's Edge. Yeah, it wasn't as like impressive as that. Like it was kind of small, on the smaller side. It didn't really feel like there was too much going on, except for like the screen. I don't think I sent you guys the videos yet, right? Except for the screen that has that live, like it feels like you're actually
space.
moving in space, and the
Yeah.
seenery changes, and then you have the hyperspace jump and everything.
Is it all inclusive cruise? Do you have to pay? You have to pay for anything extra, or is it all in?
Pretty much all in. The only things you had to pay for were like if you went to an ice cream store that was extra, like the what was it? The Inside Out ice cream shop, that was extra for the ice cream there because it was specialty ice cream. Alcoholic beverages are extra, but everything else is included. Like
So there's three meals.
Three
All
meals.
inclusive,
Yeah, breakfast, lunch, and dinner plus the buffets. They were all separate. There was three major restaurants where kids to adults are allowed. There were a few adult restaurants that are just adults only, and that's additional. But if you go to any restaurant, you could order room service from any restaurant. You could order room service from any of the little stalls that are in the
And that's
buffet
extra.
area. No, that's included. You just have to tip.
It's a tip. All right. It was food ain't good.
Yeah, it was okay. It wasn't like anything to like. Although 1923, so there's 3 restaurants. We kind of got lucky with our last night. So it was the ship was rotating between Marvel, what's the second? Arendelle, which is a Frozen themed one, and then 1923, which is a Walt Disney 1920s themed, very New York style actually, kind of restaurant. And Marvel was okay, Arendelle was okay, but like the food was meh, but the party was good.
Did they not have like? Did they not have Filipino staff in this ship?
Oh, please, is that even a question?
I mean,
I would say 3/4 of the staff was Filipino.
Okay, all right.
And then 1923, filet mignon was on the menu, and it was pretty good. I wouldn't say it was the best filet mignon I had, but it was pretty good. And like all the appetizers, all the salads, and including the dessert was really, really good. I had 2, sometimes 3 of everything. You can order as many as you want on the menu. You can order the whole menu if you want. It's all included. And yes, I was a fat ass on this trip. I ordered everything, but I got my steps in, so I didn't gain any weight because I was doing like 15,000 steps on this massive boat. Because since I was in a separate room as my sister and her family, to find each other was a freaking mission. Like if we lost each other and we didn't communicate where we were going to meet on the ship because we didn't have internet when we were out to sea, it was like you had to like, okay, are they going to go up to the 11th deck or 12th deck to go get food?
There wasn't
Are
any
they?
Wi-Fi on the phone on the boat.
It's not free. That's not free.
Oh, Jesus Christ!
Yeah. And then you can get it for like $16 a day, but that's just for social media. If you get it for like full with texting, it's $32 a day. But
How many
then
people can you log on?
just one. That's just for one person.
That's for one person. What a
Yep.
ripoff! Good
I
Lord!
know. That's what I was thinking. Because I'm
Did they
like,
give you a
you
heads up
pay
and
this
say?
much?
They give you a heads up and say,
No.
hey, you know what? Bring some walkie-talkies, man. How about that?
That's what some people did apparently. And I think my nephew was supposed to do that, but he forgot his walkie-talkies. But yeah, that would have been. This is where the Nextel phones from back in the day, in the early 2000s, would have come in handy. Where we could have been like, "Where are you?
You can call
I'm
from
on
room
deck
to room.
12."
How you can call from room to room though, right?
And there's phones like like public phones around the ship that you can just call to each of your rooms, and then you could be like, "Hey, I'm over here." Like if you happen to catch them in their room, there was
Sounds like the whole experience is like you're going forward in time, but also backwards in time at the same time.
yeah,
You know what I mean?
yeah.
Like
My
you're
sister
on
actually
this
said,
giant ship that fills thousands of people and stuff like that. You're defying the
and you
laws of
can't
nature. But you can't call anybody. You can't reach anybody.
you
How about
can't
that?
call
It's
anybody.
like the
You
1980s,
have to
man.
pay
Like,
for it.
what happened?
Exactly.
Like, hey,
She
mom,
actually
you gotta come to pick me up at the theater at 4 o'clock, guys.
she actually said that their last Disney cruise, because I think this is their second Disney cruise. So their first one, I forgot the name of that ship. She said that those phones were actually pretty cool. They were wireless phones. They weren't like corded phones that were connected to the room. So you can carry it around anywhere and you can make calls from it.
Yeah.
So hypothetically, if we had those kinds of phones on this ship, we could have just called each other. We could have just carried those phones around and called each other with that. But for some reason, they didn't have that technology with this boat. But overall, I mean, I think if you have kids, it's great. I think if you're a huge Disney fan, it's great. The drinks were good, although not very alcoholic, which I think they do that on purpose because you're on ship. They don't want anybody, going overboard. The kids had a great time. I can't express that enough. So it was just like really fun seeing their reactions. All the restaurants, like there was Bayou, there's Keg and Compass, which is a beer room. They had Luna, which was like a theater slash bar where they did different events every night, like from trivia nights to karaoke nights. And then they had lounges for teens of different ages, from like tweens 9 to 13 and teens 14 to 17. They had kids play areas, which were amazing. Like we looked at every single thing, and it was really really cool. Like I was trying to force my 13-year-old nephew to go with the teens, but he was being really shy. So he was like, no, I'll just hang out with you. I'm like, okay. I mean, if you think your aunt is cool enough to hang out with, like, sure, let's keep exploring the boat and like, play on the deck and stuff. They had scuffleboard. Yeah, I mean, it was a lot of fun, and every dinner was themed. There was always a show. Like Marvel had Ant-Man themed. Arendelle had a Frozen show. It was like Sven
Didn't
and
they make
Anna's.
Didn't they make like a pre-tape like mini like a short film with the Marvel characters and stuff like that?
Yeah,
With the action.
yeah, they do.
That's
And then they
probably
have
right.
the characters. Then they had characters come out. Like that night, we had Spider-Man, which the kids were going crazy for. Arendelle, like, oh my gosh, Arendelle was like the Frozen theme was a party. Like the little band that they had, a trio of a violinist, a
I don't want to tell them
tambourinist,
how to
and
do
a
their business and stuff
percussionist.
like that. But if I was like visiting as a cruise ship, wouldn't I focus on like Moana, Little Mermaid, maybe a little Lilo and Stitch? Those are kind of like water-based, what do you call it, movies and stuff. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
I
you
don't
would
know.
think, right?
When I'm on a ship, I don't think what were the Scandinavian stories? That's what I want. I want
I
those.
know, right?
I
Like, where
want.
was
I want.
Moana?
That's what my mindset said is. You know what I mean? I want to see snow. It was
I don't
snow-based
know.
characters. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I have no idea. I think it's because like the whole Arendelle theme was like the corridor leading into the restaurant felt like the castle that you watched in the movie. So you had that feeling of like, oh, cool, I'm entering Arendelle now, and then you enter this hall that really feels like it's like a Nordic catering hall, and even the windows, like the windows, I say windows, quote unquote, because like there's a time where you look out the windows and you see the ocean, and then there's a time during the show where something happens to those windows, quote unquote, and then you can't see anything, and like the windows start to change color, kind of like in when Elsa goes through her changes, like in that song.
I don't
Yeah,
think
remember?
when I'm in the Atlantic Ocean, I don't think like Nordic adventures and stuff like that. Doesn't make a lot of sense. Doesn't
Well,
make a lot of
like
sense.
like I said, the kids were really into it. It was really fun. Like the like not just the cast, the crew also like are in on the shows. So like they did a conga line with the kids. They took all the kids from all the tables, and they were going around the room. And it was a good time. It was like
I guess that's the most important thing. Is
good
like
kids fun.
as long as the kids have fun. But I don't know about
Yeah.
Albert, but I this doesn't exactly sell me on it. Like I seriously doubt my nephew wants to go on one of these. But if I had kids, I don't know if I want to go on one of these either. You know what I mean?
I mean, I think if you had like older kids, like between 3-year-olds, maybe 4-year-olds, 5, depending on how much you can control them, like it would definitely be fun. Like the kids definitely had fun. I think if I definitely saw couples that were just couples, didn't have kids, but they were there with other couples or with
they're called creeps. Yeah, they're called perverts. You should keep an extra eye on those
like
guys.
Disney adults, like they
you should
had
keep an eye on those. Keep an eye on those guys. You know what I'm saying? Keep an eye on them. Did you see those viral videos where the women and stuff like they fight on the top of the deck, and then one of them was losing the fight and jump over the boat? Unless that happens on a cruise, I don't want to be part of it. I don't want this.
No, there was none of that. That's Royal Caribbean. That's Caribbean.
Yeah, I want some mess. I don't think I'm sold on this. Oh, are you, Albert?
No.
You into this?
More of the adult stuff. Like there's an adults.
Excuse
me. There's an adults only part. Like
they put a fishbowl in the middle of the room and threw some room keys in it. What?
Not that kind of adult. No, but there's like the Cove, they call it, which is like an adults only cafe. It's in the back of the ship. There's a pool there that's only for adults, so you don't have like kids running around if you don't want to be surrounded by kids. Because it can be overwhelming, especially if like you don't have any.
Yes, what's happening under the water, guys? Yeah, what's happening under the bubbles? You know what I'm saying?
I did not, but the pools were small. That was the only thing that I was a little disappointed about on Disney Wish. Like the pools were not as big, so like it felt sketchy with the amount of people that were on the boat to get into a pool. I was just like, yeah, I'm just gonna stay in the ocean.
You're not gonna. Yeah, I would not recommend. A bunch of kids are not gonna hold their pee and stuff. Those pools on the ship, they can't hold their pee.
But even the adult pools, they were so small. So I was just like,
I don't think those grandparents are holding in their pee either, man.
No,
I don't think you want to get those. I don't think you want to get those grandparents outside their adult diapers. That's all I'm saying.
No. Last note: Castaway Cay, the private-owned Disney island, in the Bahamas, was nice. It's actually practically deserted until the cruise ship comes in and takes over the island for the day. Aside from the
get out of here, dark people! Get out of here, indigenous people! Get out of here!
I know,
we
right?
Own this island. We own this island.
It's only for tourists. Yeah. So we get on, and it's literally just the cruise people. Like there's nobody else. So it's almost like you have that community where you can literally. I mean that you can literally like leave your stuff anywhere, and you don't have to worry about it because it's safe. Because like there's not like other people. Everybody else is going to end up back on the boat, even the crew. So it was that part was pretty nice because like it's kind of like you don't have the whole island to yourself, but like it kind of is because it's just for the people who were on the cruise. So like everybody's like on the same mindset. So it's pretty cool. It was a cool experience. Would I ever do it again? Probably not, but it was fun. I had fun with the kids mostly.
Well, first off, you'll never catch me on a cruise. So I'm not doing this.
The cruise was not first choice, but my sister happened to convince me to go.
Can you see what the price is for one person?
One person, I think it was 1,200, something like that, 1,200 something.
Oh, that's a lot. Does that include airfare down to Miami?
No.
That's that. Forget it.
Yeah, I wasn't thinking when I saw that price. I was just like, oh, okay, yeah. Let me just like pay it, like whatever, it's fine. And then I started thinking about it. I'm like, that could have been a week somewhere, like nice.
1,200
with
plus
airfare,
not including airfare. That's way too much, man.
Yeah. So like by the second night, I was like, wait, you can order as much food as you want. Okay, I'm eating everything then.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
I don't
part
care
of
if I finish it.
that is part of the appeal is the all you can eat aspect.
Yeah, but if you're not able to eat a lot, you kind of lose out. So I just ordered everything just to taste things because I can't eat that much, but like I like to taste things, so I just ordered just for the sake of ordering because I'm like, why not? Like it's there. Like the last night I literally ordered 2 different kinds of steaks just to try the other one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, doesn't sound like a waste at all. It's fine. Yeah.
It's gonna go waste anyway.
The environment's fine. Great.
Exactly.
No, it's fine. Yeah, it's all great.
All right. Is that it for now?
I mean, you want me to keep growing? I can keep.
No.
going.
Jiaming, I know. Ruthy took a lot of the time here, but go ahead with your take.
The sea. My little story is actually it's something that was in the news a couple of weeks ago. It kind of got blown out of the water with the whole North Carolina governorship and also some other stuff in the news. You know what I mean? So it didn't really stay on anybody's radar. It stayed on Black Twitter radar for a little bit, but I thought I'd mention it here because I want your guys' opinion on it. So have you guys heard the comedian called Druski? Druski. He's a social media. He's a comedian. Can you spell
that? Can you spell it real quick?
DRU something. I can't spell the rest. But if you see his picture, you know him. He's a black guy. He's a little bit bigger on the bigger side. He's sorry, DRUSKI. Yeah, I think that's right. You see him in Google commercial of NBA stars, football stuff. He's been around. He's like a comedian, funny guy and stuff like that. And then he dated a girl called Rubi Rose. Does this story sound familiar? Have you guys heard of it?
I know what that is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Rubi Rose is a singer, right? So anyway, she went on, and they were dating.
She used to date what's his face? Kanye, right? Yes? No?
No, maybe. No. That's a chick with a tattoo on her head, not that chick.
Oh, okay.
That's Ruby something else.
Yeah, that's another Ruby. So that chick's crazy and all that, but not that chick.
That's where my head went first too.
Right. She's a kind of obscure, and not obscure, but she's not like a tier or upper tier singer or something. But anyway, she's like a working singer or whatever. So the two of them dated for a while, a few months ago and something like that. And then recently, this happened, like I said, 2 weeks ago. She was on Instagram Live. She was doing like a Q&A and stuff like that. So they were asking her about her dating life, and she mentioned, "Oh, I've been celibate for like 2 months and stuff." And then people were like doing the math, and they said, "Hey, weren't you dating a Druski guy for like 2 months ago? What happened?" And then she said, "Oh, no. What happened? That's a PR thing. She paid for my companionship, but he didn't pay for my P word and stuff like that. You know what I mean?" And then people were like, "Wait, what? What happened? It was a PR thing?" Like, yeah. She's like, "Yeah, it's not a real thing," and stuff like that. So anyway, so this whole thing kind of blew up on Twitter and stuff like that. And then he posted a thing like, "Hey," but I forgot what he posted, but he's saying like, "Money can't buy me love," or something like that. I don't know what he said, but he kind of played it off as sort of like a joke and stuff like that. So the whole thing was basically the whole thing was he dated her because when they were quote unquote dating and stuff, there were pictures of them on Instagram Live on vacation, all the stuff. She was like wearing bikini, they're kissing, making out, all that stuff. But my question for the classroom is, hey, if a person pays you to be their quote unquote significant other or girlfriend or whatever, shouldn't part of the payment be like, hey, what the hell up? Unless they do something untoward, something something violent, mentally, physically, and stuff like that, shouldn't part of the thing be like, hey, why don't you keep it, to yourself and keep it on the down low? You know what I mean? Why blow up the guy's spot and stuff like that? And I'm not saying it just because he's a guy, I'm a guy. All that. I think I would feel the same way if it was reversed. You know what I mean? If it was a girl and a guy, whatever. You know what I mean? What do you guys think of this? Given what I've said so far, what I've laid out.
Is the NDA in their contract?
I don't think it went so much as I don't think anybody did like a deep dive on this and stuff like that. Like I don't know if they actually made a contract or anything like that. You know what I mean?
No, that's really important though. I mean, if he specifically told her, don't tell anybody this, then that's something else. But
no, what I'm saying is, I don't think this guy has that kind of money where he actually has somebody like a lawyer write up like a contract.
So I guess the question here is, he actually did pay her to be a PR stunt to be
yes. But like I said, I don't think. I guess this is my reading of it. It's like I don't think they made like lawyers came together and made a contract and stuff. It's still like a gentleman's agreement. So hey, what do you call it? Hey, I need I like to be seen with a pretty girl. You're a pretty girl, famous. You have a little bit of fame. We can both kind of rise in in this show business together and stuff like that. If we get together, I'll pay you this amount of dollars for this. You know what I mean? So you know what I'm saying? That's my read of it. It's like a gentleman's agreement and stuff like that. You know what I
mean? My whole thing is that you know me. I try and avoid lying as much as possible, and what they're doing is lying. So I'm not down for this. If she happened to blurt it out, I mean, it does sound a little dishonorable because the whole setup. But at the same time, nothing's stopping her from doing that. Ruthy?
Yeah. That's what the pause was for. I'm waiting for Ruby to say her opinion.
Sorry. Where were we? I'm still on my Facebook thing.
Don't make me repeat the whole thing though. Did you get any of it?
If somebody okay, I guess you're moving on now.
Yeah, Albert, rewind the podcast.
Ruthy,
just repeat the question.
If somebody can you get Anna on the podcast right now?
If somebody had if this guy had an agreement with this girl that they were going to have a fake relationship for PR purposes, and then later
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. And later on, the girl says like, "Oh yeah, it was all PR," even though he was hoping that nobody would find out.
Right.
Now, should she have done?
Because there's been what do you call it? People have brought up, or he did interviews on like some sort of radio show, like in between this time, and so that's saying that, oh yeah, they broke up and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And then people kind of pressed him for details and stuff like that. He kind of hinted at the fact after he was being pressed, like, oh, she got too expensive. You know what I mean? People thought, you know what I mean? People thought afterwards, oh, that's kind of funny that he said that. But you know what I mean? He kind of played it off and stuff like that. Like, you know what I mean? But he gave no indication that, this was a sort of business arrangement and stuff like that. You know what I mean? So the question is, I'll just repeat it real quick. Shouldn't part of the money exchange or something like that be shouldn't she just like kind of kept it to herself for the rest of, her life, I guess, just kind of,
I guess if the money was worth it, I guess yes. But I guess if she felt slighted, then she was probably like, let me save my face and just say it was a PR stunt just to kind of like ruin it.
No, but the thing is, nobody would have known anything. She didn't say anything. You know what I mean? Because like I said, she just brought it out. She brought it out voluntarily on just part of her Q&A.
Oh, so something probably happened to change her mind about about keeping it private. That's what I'm thinking. But
during the Q&A, she didn't say like, "Oh, I didn't get the last payment" or anything like that. But she just kind of blurted it out because it was a follow up to a different question, though. You know what I mean? It was a follow up to what her relationship is. She's seeing anybody, she's dating anybody right now, and she just said, "Oh, I'm I've been celibate for 2 months." And there's a follow up question, say, "Hey, didn't you date Druski or something like that for a few months ago?" And stuff like that. Then that's when she blurted out that information. You know what I mean?
Interesting. Yeah. I mean, if I were paid for it, I would just like keep it quiet. I don't know why she would do that. Maybe it's like I said, if something might have happened privately between them and caused her to just blurt it out, or maybe it was just a misjudgment at some point when she got tired of lying. Who knows?
I'm just saying, just be cool, guys. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, see, that's the thing. Like, stop lying about these relationships. Just like, you're not in a relationship, you're not in a relationship. You can't get any publicity on your own. Just find another way instead of faking a relationship.
And I'm just saying, if I put money in your hand, shut the hell up. What do you think of that?
I mean, there's that too.
That's part of the money exchange and stuff like that. And I don't want to get a whole psychological profile on the guy, but he's a bigger kind of a guy. You know what I mean? He's a guy who I think grew up heavy set and stuff like that. I think there's a reason why he's kind of a funny guy. You know what I'm saying? I just think that what do you call it? He wasn't really lucky with the ladies back in the day and stuff like that. You know what I mean? And now that he has some fame, some money in his pocket, he wants a little arm candy, stuff like that. Make him feel big and stuff.
Yeah. Fair, yeah. I mean, if he has the money to do that, then yeah, the women should just go along with it. Like, why she's trying to make a name for herself, who knows?
Albert, I think that's your cue to kind of wrap up the podcast.
We're done. Okay.
Right.
All right. No, we're not really wrapping it. All right, thanks for listening.
There's more of this crap. Good Lord.
Are we going on it?
I know.
What are you
Seriously.
doing?
I'm working. Like you, I'm also distracted. All right, thanks for listening. Because apparently I wasn't. My name is Albert. You can find me on Instagram and Threads at Albert5x5.
My name is Ruthy. You can find me on Instagram at Ruthy Grace 13 and Ruthy's Cats.
You can find me on social media, JIAMINGLOU.
Music has been provided by Gloomy June. Updates, contact info, ways to support us, and everything else is on the show notes found on whowhatwhereswhy.com. Before we go, let's give our 8 listeners some recommendations for this week. This is first week of October. One more month until elections. Go on, Jiaming.
No, you know what? I totally forgot what I was going to recommend. But since you mentioned the election, hey, don't forget to go on vote.org or just type in your state's name to see if you're registered to vote and stuff like that. I did a couple of weeks ago. Not only did I check if my thing is up to date, legitimate, but also like I clicked in the option for them to mail me my ballot and stuff like that. And there's like a tracking for California, at least. There's like a thing where you can kind of supposedly they're going to track where your mail-in ballot is and if they mailed it to you and stuff like that. So, don't forget to do that. Vote.org and stuff like that. It's the most basic but that's for anybody in any state. But again, you can just type in your own state's name and search your vote status. Say, don't forget. It's everybody needs to participate in our democracy and stuff.
Absolutely. Ruthy.
Amen. For fall, away from just keeping it basic bitch fall. At Trader Joe's, there is this apple prosecco drink. It's in a red can, very skinny drink. Really yummy cocktail, fizzy. It's good for fall. They came out with a peach flavor in the summertime. I didn't get to try it, but they also came out with a pumpkin pie flavor. I'm a little hesitant to try it. I'm working my way to just maybe getting one can next time I'm at Trader Joe's to try it. But that brand has been, it's not necessarily a brand, it's a Trader Joe's brand, but it's been pretty good. Like, it's a really nice drink to just have at the end of the night. It's fizzy, like I said, it's an apple prosecco. So it's it's on the sweet side, which I'm not usually, I don't normally lean towards, but this one's like an enjoyable drink. It's just nice and light, it's bubbly. It's easy on the tongue. It's easy to just have, down it. It's not a big can. It's kind of like the same size, like a little bit shorter than a High Noon can, but just as skinny. So I would recommend that.
Yeah.
So $9.
$9 for 4 cans.
Yeah. Also, I want to mention recently, last couple of weeks, I've been going back to Trader Joe's. So I used to go to Trader Joe's every now and then, but then it's from where I live to where the nearest Trader Joe's like 20 minutes each way and stuff like that. Anyway, the last couple of weeks I've been going back to Trader Joe's just because, and I just remember why I used to go all the time, because the food is delicious, it's reasonably priced and stuff like that. It's a really, really good store. Shout out to Trader Joe's. I've had chocolate covered caramel chocolate, like almonds and stuff like that. Tater tots, frozen tater tots. This frozen empanada was delicious and stuff. The only thing I didn't like was like these frozen French fries I heated up that I didn't like. But everything else, Trader Joe's, everything's more or less delicious in there, man. Shout out to Trader Joe's.
Yeah. Oh, it's called Simpler Wines. That's the brand name. Yeah.
Oh, I was looking at the Prosecco at Trader Joe's. Yeah.
I know, like I was looking at it too. I'm like, why does that keep showing up? But it's actually Simpler Wines. I don't know if it's a Trader Joe's brand or if it's its own brand. But yeah, it comes in a pack of four cans. Like I said, super easy to drink. It's really yummy. Tastes like you could taste the alcohol, but it's like it tastes like a cocktail. It's really good.
For my recommendation, if you haven't got a chance to see the Kenan Thompson skit about Project 2025 from DNC, it's on YouTube. Go watch it. Also, there's also a song, kind of School of Rock style for Project 2025. It's quite humorous. Take a look at that. And the reason why I'm bringing this up, election week, election is coming up very, very soon.
Wow. Anybody getting a sense of deja vu? Kind of weird.
Shut up.
I heard this before.
and the video.
What a weird sensation.
And
I'm feeling right now.
I think it's important for voters to remember that Project 25 is a thing that is definitely probably going to happen if Trump wins. So if you're really okay with that, you should at least figure out what Project 25 is. So it's there. This is a fun way of figuring it out, and then you can go from there. All right. That's all we're going to do for recommendations because, yeah. This was episode 812 of the Stuff and Junk Show. Thanks for joining us. Until next time, this podcast has been a Who Would Worst White production.
Yeah, we did it again.
Yeah, when it was recording. So listeners, I'm not sure if you noticed. Well, maybe you did, maybe you didn't. But the recording actually stopped recording on my recorder, and then I had to, all that
Stop
stuff.
recording.
But yeah, but basically, all that you're missing out on, listeners, is how friendly Trader Joe's employees are. That's it. So
Albert likes to keep it exciting.
so unnecessary, Albert.
Yeah.
So
Am I recording? Am I not recording? Who knows? It's a mystery. It's an adventure. It's an adventure every podcast.
Gotta keep things interesting.
Yeah, apparently I should have noticed how much memory is left on the thing, because usually my recorder tells me how many minutes are left to record, and apparently we talk too much. So yeah.
Well, you're busy with your Uncle Roger impression. You know, you've been working on
Uncle Roger.
Again,
what about Uncle Roger?
Again, you already have an accent. I don't know what to tell you. You already have an accent. You don't have to adopt another one.
I'm not sure if you guys noticed this or not, or this month. But Anna did mention once that it was like Mexican History Heritage Month or whatever it's called. No?
Oh, it is? Isn't it the same as
September?
Philippines?
Yes.
Was it the same thing as Philippines, really?
Yeah.
I think so. I think it's just all countries that gained their independence from Spain around the same time. Which I don't know why we don't have all of June, to be honest, because like that's generally like all our Independence Days.
Oh, look at this. It's not too late. National Hispanic Heritage Month is from September 15th to October 15th.
Oh, there you go.
There you go.
It starts and ends in the middle of the month.
How is it a month? I know. That's what I'm thinking. Like, how is it a month when it's in the middle of the month?
Shrug.
That's 2 months.
It's wild.
Yeah.
Yeah, what are you gonna do?
America's just be keeping us guessing.
Yeah. I don't know why. Also, I don't know why you mention it now. Why don't you bust her ass when she's actually here? What do you think of that? Say it to her face. Or next week.
All right. Well, I'll delete this from the after credits and we'll bring it up to her.
Again, say it to her face. Leave it on. See if she listens to it.
I'll keep whatever.
There you go.
She listens to it more than I do.
Imagine anybody listening for this long. You know what I mean? They're like 3 hours in, man. Imagine anybody listening to it. You know what? If you listen to it this far, guys, give me your Venmo information. I'll drop you $20. I will make that. I will make that.
Listening to you talking till the end of the show.
Yeah. Well, I mean, listeners, if you're still listening to this after credits, October is Filipino American History Month. So there, right off the bat, beginning of the month, it's Filipino American Month. I'm mentioning it right now because this is the month that the first Filipinos arrived here in North America.
Which part of North America, though?
What would be California? Morro Bay.
Okay, so nothing to do with New Orleans.
New Orleans. No. New Orleans. New Orleans.
That was before
the
United States became a country.
Yeah, New Orleans wouldn't have been a thing if it wasn't for Morro Bay. The first Filipinos arrived in North America at Morro Bay, California, on October 1587.
Gotcha. Wow.
When did Christopher Columbus discover America?
Again, you can't.
15.
Everybody says,
something?
Everybody says this now. You can't put it in a sense that you can't discover a place where people live. You should say it's when did Christopher Columbus start brutalizing and raping and enslaving indigenous people? On the 1600s, 1600s.
It's mid 1400s to late 1400s.
Really? Yeah. Only one of us was a history major.
Really? I thought it was later. It's like in the 1540 something.
Yeah.
Well, it says here 1492.
Oh, wow! Really? That was a long time ago.
And on Google, it does say in bold here, Columbus did not discover North America.
Yeah. Look at that.
Damn right.
Can you believe that?
Look at Google.
When did Google get woke? What do you think of that?
Right? I was gonna say.
Yeah, but either way.
Good job, Google.
Yeah, Filipino American History Month is in October. Celebration that the first Filipinos to arrive here in North America, Morro Bay, California, October 18, 1587. So there. All right, then. Let's wrap this up and I can go ahead and eat my what did we get? What did we get, Jessica? Meat fresh. Meat fresh. Yes.
Hey, Ruthy. Jessica's not in the room. She's talking to himself. All right. Peace out, guys. Later.
Good night.
Peace out.
Bye.
Bye.